highlight. Family members, friends, political associates converge on Lagos to celebrate Governor Sanwo-Olu at 60. Defense headquarters to deploy 800 special operatives in troubled state. On the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump calls for cancellation of corruption trial against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And in sport, Nigeria Basketball Federation releases D-Tigres professional roster ahead Afrobasket Championship in Cote d'Ivoire. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Family members, friends, political associates converge on Lagos to celebrate with Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on the occasion of his 60th birthday. The event, tagged Rhythm of Worship with Adura, had in attendance various gospel artists including Moses Bliss, Mercy Chimbo, Arugbo Ojo, Oh My God, MFM Guitar Choir, as well as Dreamcatchers Academy, among others, who took turns to perform to the delight of the attendees. In his message, elated Governor Sanwo-Olu appreciated the Almighty God for preserving his life, seeing him through all his good and troubled times. The celebrant, who noted that the theme coined with his other name, Adura Agbemi, shows the power of answered prayers in his journey of life and thanks Lagosians for the privilege to serve them. Our correspondent Adeola Akindele reports that the event attracted dignitaries including the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, his Osun State counterpart, Ademola Adeleke, Ekiti's Biodun Oyebanji, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, former Minister of Works Babatunde Fashola, the State Deputy Governor and family, Speaker of the State House of Assembly Mudashiru Obasa, and other lawmakers, party faithful, traditional rulers, among others. The Lagos State government has extended an invitation to interested stakeholders to invest in the state's waterways, stating that with over 20 water terminals and plans for more jetties in the pipeline, the state offers a viable and vibrant market for private sector participation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this call at the 2025 Regional Ferry Safety Conference themed Charity Safer Waters, Advancing Ferry Safety Through Innovation, Collaboration and Integrated Transport Solutions. Sanwo-Olu, who spoke through the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, stated that this collaboration would build a future where waterways in the state are not only safe, but also a model of efficiency and sustainability. He said the state government has collaborated with the relevant authorities for the Coastal Resilience Initiative, supported by WaterAid Nigeria and the UK's Blue Planet Fund, which exemplifies how public-private partnerships can address coastal risks and promote sustainable water transport. Sanwo-Olu said the heart of the state's approach to ferry safety is innovation, elucidating that his administration is exploring the future of water transportation through initiatives like the Omi-Eko project. In his address, Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiyemi stated that collaboration, innovation and vigilance play a vital role in the journey of maritime safety, noting that it is essential for Nigeria to recognize that maritime safety is not a destination, but rather a continuous journey. Earlier in his welcome address, the Managing Director, Lagos State Water Authority, Damilola Emmanuel, said that the event aims to harmonize policies and establish robust regional frameworks that ensure safer and more efficient cross-border ferry operations. He called on stakeholders to come together on a mission to forge a safer, more resilient future for ferry transport across Africa's magnificent waterways and coastal regions. In a concerted effort to bolster consumer protection and strengthen food industry standards, stakeholders across Nigeria's food value chain gathered for the 2025 Food Safety Workshop held in Lagos. The event themed Food Safety First, Protecting Consumers, Empowering Industries, brought together policymakers, regulatory agencies, manufacturers, food scientists, public health experts, and business leaders to address rising concerns around food quality, safety practices, and regulatory compliance. Declaring the workshop open, Director General of the Lagos State Safety Commission, Lanre Mojala, emphasized the urgency of ensuring safe food systems in both formal and informal sectors. He noted that food safety must be central to health and industrial policies, stressing that protecting the public from foodborne risks is not negotiable and it requires collaboration across all levels: government, private sector, and consumers. The workshop featured panel discussions and technical sessions with stakeholders in food and confectionery, focusing on best practices in food processing and packaging, compliance with NAFDAC and SON food safety guidelines, emerging threats from contaminated and adulterated foods, training and certification for food handlers. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially served notice of the Ekiti State 2026 gubernatorial election to commence the electioneering process. The state resident electoral commissioner, Omosheindemi, at a meeting with political parties to flag off the exercise, pledged the electoral body's commitment to upholding the highest standards of transparency and fairness in all the processes before, during, and after the governorship election. He said the exercise complied with the Electoral Act, which mandated INEC to issue a notice of election not later than 360 days before the date appointed for the election. Omasheindemi charged political parties in the state to adhere strictly to the rules of engagement, particularly in the conduct of their primaries, submission of candidates, and campaigns in accordance with the Electoral Act and the Commission's guidelines. Now to the rest of the stories. The Defense Headquarters is set to deploy over 800 special forces in troubled states like Benue, Plateau, and Borno to complement troops in combating their security challenges. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, who made this known at a Defense Headquarters training seminar in Abuja, revealed that members of the Special Force are currently undergoing a comprehensive training on how to tackle the rising threats to the nation's security. The CDS explained that the conference on performance-oriented training and trends in contemporary operating environment was organized as a critical part of a shared commitment to building a professional and combat-ready force equipped to navigate the evolving operational landscape. According to him, an effective response to the country's complex security threats requires inter-service collaboration, cooperation, and rapid integration of artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, advanced surveillance technology, and sophisticated electronic cyber warfare. Musa emphasized the need for the military to understand the enemy it is dealing with in order to prepare for emerging challenges. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has vowed to crack down on informants aiding criminal gangs. He stated this during a condolence visit to the Zuru Emirate following deadly attacks by bandits in the Tadurga village of Zuru local government area and Kiabu in Danko Wasagu local government area. During a visit to the affected communities, the governor condemned the activities of informants within the communities, warning that the government was considering amending its laws to impose capital punishment or life imprisonment on anyone convicted of aiding banditry. Idris described the attacks as barbaric and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to safeguarding the lives and property of the people. The governor urged traditional rulers and community leaders to intensify vigilance and promptly report any suspicious persons to security authorities. The federal government has announced plans to clear outstanding payments owed to contractors who have duly completed verified projects across ministries, departments, and agencies. Director of Press and Public Relations, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa, in a statement said only contracts awarded through due process and executed according to specification will be honored. The Accountant General's office reiterated that there would be no payments for contracts not backed by proper documentation, as the government aims to maintain fiscal responsibility and enforce procurement standards. It will be recalled that the National Assembly earlier this year expressed concerns over the wide gap between recurrent and capital expenditure in the 2024 budget, citing the low level of fund releases for capital projects as a major obstacle to achieving tangible development. Now to foreign news. United States President Donald Trump has called for Israel to cancel the corruption trial of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu or grant him a pardon, describing the case against the Israeli leader as a witch hunt. Trump issued the call on behalf of his close Israeli ally who was indicted in 2019 in Israel on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Netanyahu's trial began in 2020 and involves 3 criminal cases. He has denied the allegations and pleaded not guilty. Israeli media have reported that cross-examination of Netanyahu began on June 3 in a Tel Aviv court and was expected to take about a year to complete. Israeli President Isaac Herzog said the power to pardon Netanyahu, Israeli President Isaac Herzog has the power to pardon Netanyahu, but has been quoted by Israeli media saying that a pardon is not currently on the table. Now, sport. The Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF) has released a 20-player professional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's AfroBasket Tournament set to hold in Cote d'Ivoire this summer. The professional list includes the core of the side that won the last AfroBasket tournament in Kigali, Rwanda in 2023, plus a mixture of emerging talents. Headlining the squad are experienced veterans Ezinne Kalu and Promise Amukarama. The coach Reina Wakama-led side are the reigning holders of the continental competition and will be looking to win an unprecedented 5th consecutive title when the team touches down in the Francophone nation. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, always use the walkway where available to avoid accidents. You can follow us on all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered 600 women with ingenious business ideas to the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Fund W initiative to empower Lagosians? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, try the highlights of the major stories. Family members, friends, political associates converged on Lagos to celebrate with Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on the occasion of his 60th birthday. The Defense Headquarters is set to deploy over 800 special forces in troubled states like Benue, Plateau, and Borno to complement troops in combating their security challenges. Also told you that United States President Donald Trump has called for Israel to cancel the corruption trial of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu or grant him a pardon, describing the case against the Israeli leader as a witch hunt. And in sport, the Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF) has released a 20-player provisional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's AfroBasket Tournament set to hold in Cote d'Ivoire this summer. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fabulagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.